Srah. The Cambodian general public as well as foreigners have known about Srah. It is one of the biggest artificial water reservoirs in the region, located on the eastern side of the ThmeyThmey temple within the protective zones of the Angkor Archaeological Park in the province of Siem Reap. The construction of this ancient artificial reservoir is known to date back from the 10th century AD during the rule of King Rajendra Varman, whose reign started in 944 AD and ended in 968 AD. Shaped as a rectangle, Srah stretches 790 meters in length and 390 meters in width. Fast forward a couple of centuries later, during the prosperous reign of King Jayavarman VII toward the end of the 12th century AD, who brought upon improvement by putting in the outer stone layer of the reservoir and building staircases leading to the body of water with materials such as laterite stones and limestone. For many centuries, the majority of people only knew and considered Srah just an average water reservoir. However, they have never known that, in the distant past, the ancestors had erected a small temple that is located at the center point of this reservoir. Nevertheless, this small temple in the middle of Srah was in ruins, the exact date of the destruction being unknown. During periods of evaporation, the low water levels in the reservoir would reveal the vestige of this ruined temple, enabling the local villagers who settled around this body of water to witness a lost chapter in the history of the nation. The historians of the Srah National Authority have been able to pinpoint the location of this ruined temple based on the old documentation as well as ancient text that can be found and studied on bas-relief. According to the documentation of the Srah National Authority, a French architect and preservationist by the name of Henri Marchal visited Angkor Park in 1918, the early years of the 20th century. When he had arrived, he had observed that the temple had already pretty much fallen to the bottom. In May 1932, Henri Marchal once again paid a visit to Srah. This time, he was able to take photos of the ruined temple and the scattered pieces in the middle of this ancient reservoir. From 1932 onward, the infrastructure of this middle temple of Srah remained scattered at the bottom of the reservoir. However, in 2019, these scattered pieces were given the chance of being reunited again. The Srah National Authority brought in the project of restoring this temple back from ruins. The proposed project was submitted for the inspection and evaluation of the ICC Angkor Committee that same year of 2019. The restoration of the middle temple of Srah was launched in March 2020 with complete reliance on Cambodian resources in terms of knowledge, expertise, and the financial support of Cambodian benefactors. The first stage of the restoration was to keep the water out by putting up a watertight dam of 1,600 square meters around the restoration site. Once the water was successfully pumped out, the experts would then label the scattered pieces of the stone before conducting the archaeological excavation. However, why was there a need to conduct an excavation? Firstly, the Cambodian experts needed to conduct an archaeological excavation to look for the remaining structure of the temple, to understand the technical aspects of the arrangement of the temple's foundation, and to agree on the dimension of the temple's foundation, with a full understanding enabling them to take these factors into consideration. the experts would be able to rebuild the temple with confidence and accuracy, in line with its original design, using the ancient techniques. Secondly, this was to understand the environment surrounding the temple and to approximate the age of the temple, as well as to understand why it had fallen into ruin in the first place. Our team of ThmeyThmey News finally had the chance to witness the restoration of the Middle Temple of Srah with the assistance of architect Mau Sokni of the Srah National Authority as our guide.
Up there to giọt lom.
Dương bị dương nắng dương khơi miền tuôn mùi dương máu hay dương phơi tam lùm lom tam bộ ran dương phơi
Bà mới tới tùm hôm này tu Prasat ní đôi tôi đại tề
bà
đôi tôi đại tề
bà bia bầm bay mai buôn trùng hay đo Prasat bia miền là bay mai xài sập
bà
chẳng bia dương phơi ní ao làng miền làng cục trọ cục tư chẳng từ hàng nay còn dương ai làng bà dương sao chiêu hình dùng tam ai cả bà rang phóng dương ban cầm nai sao chiêu tứ dương cầm nai pêu cho là phi khai chẳng đầm bay rong nó cần nó khơi miên anh ta pí hay niệm muối hay nâng bà hay nâng miên hôm nay tây sâu chít trơn tây số hay nâng miên bông này hạt quạt đúng rập mền rập
vì dương rập cưới là bây giờ dương lực tầm nộp hỏi
bây dương lực tầm nộp hỏi dương theo ca bông tức ấy trong cầm nai nước man trôi màu sắc xa cầm nái rồi tùm rung riêng khươn Prasat
bà
mà trời toàn trai quen một con lạ nên một con là bây giờ Việt tiện
Around 60 people were working on the restoration of this middle temple of Srah. Different skills were needed, ranging from personnel who transport the material across the water, compress the soil, restore the stones, and position the stones, to historians as well as architects to study the site. During a period of 9 months, between March and December of 2019, the team of specialists did their job with a spirit highly packed with a sense of responsibility and a feeling of happiness at being able to witness this middle temple of Srah rises above the water level of this ancient man-made reservoir once again after many centuries. The work of restoring even this small temple was not an easy task to undertake. There is only a handful of documents remaining, and the temple's scattered pieces of stones had been eroded due to their extensive period of time underwater, which was worrying. What does the temple actually look like? The Cambodian experts used their skills to determine the original shape of this small temple, just as we are witnessing right at this moment.
Về ai cái xa bỏ Srang này ấy để rồi vì dương ban thuê ca bồn tức dương rô cùng thmoi khơi như rụp riêng tới chẳng dương ọt đăng tha trừ thuê Prasat nó rụp riêng mà chẳng dương có vô ai cái xa bỏ Srang nâng móc làm bày thuê chiếc khươn tới làm bày trô Prasat này chứ dương miền vì bay rụp riêng tới hay dù chlong từ nè chùm niên ca on ra chiết tới có ai cái phép ở dưới rực vô nơi chùm rực tivi chẳng có đại miền rụp riêng đôi rồi đòn này chẳng có
dương hơi thay chia rụp ấy mệt tên này đó
vậy tới này về dương mơ tới về play để chi dương mình đã khơi miên bà sạt từ prang ná đun chân đi chân riêng đấy bây giờ mơ tới bây giờ mơ bà làng đấy việc cho dương mơ nó không bà sạt đấy kia cho đã chia trô rụp chấm lạ trô lưng ấy cái kia miền bà làng đôi chứ này về play đấy rồi ca chúc dương hơi chia cặp pool bà sạt tiếng cho nó lơ lơ đi còn tại này về chia riêng mũi đây là dương cái hơi bây giờ hơi chỉ chẹt đấy có đôi chia về mình xóm đấy mình đây về
mình chia rụp nó thọ miên được nông ai cái xa bồ ram
ở đây ăn miên này đây khơi nhỉ ở đây khơi nhỉ vừa ní cao như pan sman có về mình ban chia rụp riêng chừng đấy dương vô ca chúc chọc một còng đó bây dương Srah chia rụp thò mình tên tới khơi thá về miền vong mù muối nơi khăn năng đàการปีมอนกรอนกีทาจีสระเดสำหรับสระพิเศษแต่ดอลสมัยจีมันติเปิลกดกายปลายมุ้ยดูจีกลายเปรอองมาตีนี้สำหรับสดับเพลงอย่างนั้นนะกลายนี้กดเมียนใหญ่การสร้างซองประสาทหนึ่ง
Due to the limited documentation or other kinds of reliable records, we actually know very little about this small temple, which possibly had a huge significance during its time. Nevertheless, none of us, and especially the local population of Siem Reap, can ever forget the very well-known discovery of 2 sculptures of turtles, a Naga's head sculpture, as well as tens of thousands of crystal pieces on the archaeological excavation site of this middle temple of Srah. These findings will become the object of studies and research by Cambodian historians for years to come.
ពិតយើងអត់ភ្លេចគុណដល់រដ្ឋាភិបាលដែរដែលជាពិសេសយើងនិយាយថាអរគុណសន្តិភាពអញ្ចឹងបើយើងគ្មានសន្តិភាពទេទើបបានយើងមានមុខរបរបកអីទៅបានមានជីវភាពរហូតដល់មានវិស័យឯកជនគាត់មានថវិកាជួយដល់ការងារជួសជុលនេះហើយពួកខ្ញុំគ្រាន់ជាអ្នកជំនាញនេះក៏មានមោទនភាពដែរដែលមានឱកាសក្នុងការរួបរวมគ្នាធ្វើកិច្ចការងារនេះឲ្យចេញជាផ្លែផ្កាឡើងជូនជាតិ
The middle temple of Srah can rise once again due mainly to the united effort of the younger Cambodian generations, such as the historians, architects, stone specialists, construction workforce, and especially the Cambodian benefactors who have worked shoulder to shoulder to restore this one puzzle of our history. Mrs. Sieng Chan Hein, a director of the Hein Development Company, has been funding the restoration in its entirety. Mrs. Chan Hein has volunteered to invest her own resources out of love for the Khmer heritage. For her, it is also a happy moment to be able to witness the successful outcome of this project with her own eyes.
មានចំណាប់អារម្មណ៍សប្បាយរីករាយក៏ដូចជាមានមោទនភាពដែលខ្ញុំនេះមាននិស្ស័យផលបន់ខ្ពស់ដែលបានអាជ្ញាធរអប្សរាជាតិក៏ដូចជារាជរដ្ឋាភិបាលឲ្យខ្ញុំនឹងបានរួមចំណែកក្នុងការជួសជុលប្រាសាទរបស់ដូនតាជាពិសេសប្រាសាទដែលនៅពីក្រោយខ្នងយើងនៃស្រាប់គឺថានេះគឺជាសម្បត្តិមួយដ៏មហាសាលដែលយើងពុំអាចកាត់ថ្លៃបានអញ្ចឹងកន្លែងនេះគឺថាគ្មានអ្វីប្រៀបផ្ទឹមនឹងសេចក្តីត្រេកអរនិងសប្បាយរីករាយគឺថាខ្ញុំមានមោទនភាពជាខ្លាំងដែលបានកើតជាកូនខ្មែរជាពិសេសមានមោទនភាពដែលបានរាជរដ្ឋាភិបាលក្រោមការដឹកនាំដ៏ឆ្លៀសវៃរបស់សម្ដេចជាពិសេសអាជ្ញាធរអប្សរាជាតិតែម្ដងដែលបានឲ្យខ្ញុំជួយរួមចំណែកថវិកាក្នុងការជួសជុលប្រាសាទនានាចា៎ខ្ញុំមានមោទនភាពដោយដែលបានមានប្រសាសន៍អញ្ចឹងគឺថាមិនមែនតែចំពោះខ្លួនខ្ញុំទេដែលមានភាពប្រសើរមានភាពកោតសរសើរអំពីឋានៈដឹកនាំក៏ដូចជាភាពកោតសរសើរអំពីមហាជនទាំងអស់គឺថាកូនចៅខ្ញុំបន្តចំនួនក៏អាចមានឈ្មោះក្នុងនឹងឋានៈជំនាន់យាយយើងជំនាន់ ម្ដាយយើងមីងយើងបងយើងប្អូនយើងគឺថាបានរួមចំណែកកសាងរួមចំណែកជួសជុលថែរក្សាសម្បត្តិបេតិកភណ្ឌដូនតាយើង
Apart from this, benefactor Sing Chan Hein has also financially supported the restoration of the water mill as well as the ancient Takao Gate of the Angkor Thom city. ខ្ញុំជាមិនដូចថាជាប្រជាពលរដ្ឋម្នាក់ដែលរួមចំណែកក្នុងការជួសជុលនិងស្ដារប្រាសាទនានារបស់ដូនតាយើងប្រសិនបើលោកជំទាវអង្គញាឯកឧត្តមអស់លោកលោកស្រីដែលមានធនធានប្រហែលខ្ញុំឬក៏លើខ្ញុំបានរួមចំណែកទាំងអស់គ្នាក៏ដូចជាប្រជាពលរដ្ឋដូចជា15លាននាក់ប្រសិនបើម្នាក់រួមចំណែកតែ$1ម្នាក់គឺយើងបាន$15លានរួមចំណែកនឹងកសាងជាពិសេសជួសជុលប្រាសាទរបស់ទឹកដីអង្គរអច្ឆរិយៈរបស់យើងគឺថាប្រជាណាចក្រកម្ពុជារបស់យើងគឺនឹងអច្ឆរិយៈរុងរឿងទ្វេឡើងថែមទៀត In the work of preserving and developing the ancient temples of Cambodia, every actor is important.
បើប្រើពាក្យងាយៗយើងគិតថាសប្បាយចិត្តត្រង់ថាយើងអត់មានថវិកាអីធំដុំប៉ុន្តែយើងបានមានបេះដូងសម្រាប់ចូលរួមចំណែកនឹងថាមានឧត្តមគតិមួយសម្រាប់ផ្ទាល់ខ្លួនទេណានៅក្នុងបរិវេណនៃបុរាណសដ្ឋានយើងនេះយើងឃើញថាមានការត្រុតត្រោមក៏ច្រើនហើយដោយឡែកបុរាណវត្ថុយើងមានច្រើនយ៉ាងសន្ធឹកសន្ធាប់អញ្ចឹងបើសិនជាយើងចង់បង្វែរគំនិតសម្រាប់អាត្មាមានឧត្តមគតិមកអាត្មានឹងបង្វែរគំនិតរបស់អាត្មាគឺដើម្បីរបស់ណាដែលចាស់វាមានហើយយើងជួសជុលសារឡើងវិញសម្រាប់កូនចៅចំនួនក្រោយបានឃើញទៀត
On behalf of the Srah National Authority, which is an institution assigned to preserve and develop the Angkor Archaeological Park, Mr. Yit Chandarot has expressed his great happiness of seeing the younger generations of Cambodians across multiple backgrounds coming together to restore the legacy passed on by the Khmer ancestors.
ការចូលរួមរបស់វិស័យឯកជនជាតិខ្មែរយើងគឺមានសារៈសំខាន់បំផុតក្នុងការចូលរួមជាមួយរាជរដ្ឋាភិបាលក៏ដូចជាចូលរួមជាមួយនឹងអាជ្ញាធរជាតិអប្សរាហើយនេះគឺជាមោទនភាពមួយរបស់អាជ្ញាធរជាតិអប្សរាក៏ដូចជារបស់សប្បុរសជនទាំងនោះដែលគាត់បានបង្ហាញពីទឹកចិត្តបានបង្ហាញពីគំរូមួយដល់សប្បុរសជនឬក៏ជនជាតិខ្មែរយើងដទៃទៀតដែលស្រឡាញ់ចំពោះបេតិកភណ្ឌវប្បធម៌ខ្មែរគឺបង្ហាញពីការចេះចែករំលែកនៅធនធានដែលខ្លួនមានបង្ហាញនៅការស្រឡាញ់ចេញពីបេះដូងរបស់ពួកគាត់បង្ហាញពីការយកចិត្តទុកដាក់រួមចំណែកថែរក្សានៅវត្ថុបុរាណទាំងអស់នោះដូច្នេះហើយក្នុងនាមអាជ្ញាធរជាតិអប្សរាគឺយើងមានមោទនភាពយើងមានការរីករាយយ៉ាងខ្លាំងឥតឧបមាដែលវិស័យឯកជនជនជាតិខ្មែរយើងដោយផ្ទាល់ជាពិសេសគឺមានគំរូមកហើយគឺនៅក្នុងរមណីយដ្ឋានអង្គរនេះដែលមានលោកជំទាវអង្គញាគតិបណ្ឌិតសៀងច័ន្ទហេងអគ្គនាយិកាក្រុមហ៊ុនហេងអភិវឌ្ឍដែលជាគំរូមួយសម្រាប់វិស័យឯកជនជនជាតិខ្មែរយើងចូលរួមចំណែកជាមួយនឹងយើងទាំងអស់គ្នាក្នុងការថែរក្សាលើកតម្លៃបេតិកភណ្ឌនៅក្នុងរមណីយដ្ឋានអង្គរនេះ
Generally speaking, this is a new reason of pride for the Cambodian people, and specifically, this is a new reason of pride for the Srah National Authority to see this temple rise again for another era due to Cambodian resources in terms of knowledge, expertise, and financial capacity. The Srah National Authority has taken a new step for creating awareness to call for support from the private sector and other benefactors from Cambodia. The kingdom, however, maintains its good interconnecting relations in development with its foreign partners, as it is a universal way of sharing knowledge in terms of culture, civilizations, and the understanding of ancient architecture. Furthermore, financial funding that would come from Cambodians themselves would bring even more pride and value in the love and respect of our Cambodian ancestors. In the end, the investment in restoring temples is actually the kind of investment that is needed to sustain the prolonged benefits of our economy toward the future.